They had everything the world tells you to want.
Yeah.
Fame, fortune, millions of people screaming their names. But behind the spotlight, behind the sold-out stadiums and the red carpets, something was eating them alive.
It's a story we think we know, isn't it?
Right.
The tragic arc of the celebrity. But this isn't that story.
No.
This isn't about the fall. It's about what happened after they hit the ground.
Exactly. We're talking about Justin Bieber, who later admitted he was on the verge of suicide. We're talking about Kanye West.
Wow.
He's hospitalized for a psychiatric emergency. Mark Wahlberg, who was so sure he'd end up dead or in prison.
And what saved them wasn't what you'd expect.
Not at all.
It wasn't a high-priced rehab center or a new therapist or another blockbuster deal. It was something the world told them didn't matter anymore.
Right.
Something their own industry often mocks.
It was faith. And that's the untold story we're exploring today. A quiet, spiritual revival happening where you'd least expect it. Hollywood.
The media, they try to spin it.
Oh, always.
They call it a breakdown, a phase, a cynical publicity stunt. But if you push past the headlines, you actually listen to their words, you realize something profound is happening.
These aren't fairy tales.
No.
These are real people who hit rock bottom in penthouses, who felt utterly empty while staring at full bank accounts.
Wow.
Who were surrounded by millions and felt completely alone.
And one by one, they found the same answer.
Yeah.
An answer that's been waiting for 2,000 years.
Let's start with perhaps the most dramatic transformation of them all.
Okay.
A kid who became the most famous teenager on the planet and almost didn't survive it. Justin Bieber.
It's hard to overstate his fame.
It really is.
From a kid singing on the steps of a theater in Stratford, Ontario, to a global phenomenon. In 2 years? By 15, he was arguably the biggest pop star in the world.
Unbelievable.
He was living a dream.
But it became a nightmare. By the time he was 20, he was falling apart. A DUI in Miami, drag racing, egging his neighbor's house. It looked like, bratty celebrity behavior, but the reality was much darker. He said years later, "I was so depressed. I didn't want to be alive.
God.
I had everything, and I felt like I had nothing."
Can you just imagine that for a second?
I can't.
The psychological weight. A 20-year-old with the world at his feet who felt, in his words, like a zoo animal.
Right.
A product to be consumed. And then a shift. Around 2016, he starts being seen at church.
Yeah.
People were skeptical. Oh, it's a celebrity trend. But he didn't move on. He got baptized in a bathtub.
Wow.
He canceled the remainder of a billion-dollar world tour to focus on his mental health and his faith.
And then he said something that I believe is the key to this entire phenomenon.
What was that?
He's not trying to earn God's love anymore. I already have it.
That's the sentence that breaks the cycle. This young man who spent his entire adolescence performing for approval,
Right.
chasing validation, trying to prove he was enough, finally realized he already was. He didn't need another platinum record.
No.
He didn't need the world to love him because God already did. When you see him now, leading worship at church,
Yeah.
talking so openly about his journey, he's not a perfect person, and he's the first to say so. But he's a free person.
That idea of redemption from a broken past is such a powerful theme here. Which brings us to Mark Wahlberg. His origin story is even rougher than Bieber's.
Absolutely. Boston in the 80s,
Yeah.
a tough neighborhood. By 16, he's addicted to cocaine. By 17, He's in jail, convicted of assault. This wasn't a movie script.
Wow.
This was his life. He was on a one-way track to ruin.
But in jail, at his lowest point, he made a choice.
Right.
He started to lean on the faith he grew up with, and that choice changed everything. Fast forward to today, Mark Wahlberg is one of the highest paid, most disciplined actors in Hollywood.
But here's the part most people don't know. He still wakes up at 4 a.m. And the very first thing he does,
What?
he prays for a significant amount of time. He says, "My faith is the most important part of my life.
Wow.
Everything else is secondary." He's proof that no past is too broken for redemption.
It's an incredible testament to transformation. But what happens when the journey isn't so linear?
Right.
Let's talk about the most controversial name on this list.
Okay.
Kanye West.
Love him or hate him, his influence is undeniable.
Totally. A musical genius who revolutionized hip-hop, but he has always been a complicated, volatile figure, struggling publicly with his mental health. In 2016, he had that very public breakdown.
And then in 2019, something no one expected.
No one.
He released an album called Jesus is King. Not just a few songs with religious themes,
Yeah.
an entire explicit gospel worship album.
He started his Sunday service events,
Right.
drawing thousands just to worship. He declared, "I'm not working for man anymore. I'm working for God."
Wow.
He spoke out against the corrupting influence of the industry.
Now, let's be clear. Kanye's journey since then has been messy. He's said and done many controversial things.
For sure.
It's been a winding and difficult road, but that doesn't invalidate the initial desperate turn. When he hit his wall,
Right.
he didn't turn to the world for answers. He turned to God.
The point isn't whether these journeys are perfect.
No.
The point is where they turn when they are broken. And you see this with established, respected figures too,
Yeah.
like Denzel Washington.
Denzel's story is different. He's been a quiet pillar of faith for decades.
Right.
His father was a minister, but like many preachers' kids, he walked away. A near-death experience at 20 brought him back.
Wow.
He says, "Without God, I'd be dead or in jail right now."
And for 40 years, he's been one of the few major stars who consistently and openly points people to Jesus. He's funded churches, he's preached sermons. His strength doesn't come from his Oscars.
No.
It comes from his faith. And then you have the next generation, like Chris Pratt, a massive star now.
Oh, yeah.
But it's easy to forget that in 2000, he was homeless, living in a van in Maui. And a stranger walks up to him out of the blue and says, "God has a plan for your life."
Whoa.
That was the turning point. He gave his life to Christ, and soon after, his career just exploded.
But what's so striking about Chris is that success didn't change his faith.
No.
It strengthened it. In an industry that often demands silence on religion, he's faced backlash for posting Bible verses and talking about God in acceptance speeches.
Right.
But he hasn't backed down. He's showing you can thrive in Hollywood without compromising your convictions.
And the list keeps growing. Selena Gomez finding peace from anxiety by trusting God. NBA superstars like Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant pointing to heaven and posting scripture. Letitia Wright, the star of Black Panther, walking away from acting for a season just to focus on her relationship with Christ.
Wow.
The pattern is undeniable.
So it begs the question, why? Why? Why do the people who have won the game of life keep saying the prize is empty?
Because at its core, every human heart is asking the same question. Am I enough?
And the world's answer is a trap. It's conditional. You are enough if you're successful, if you're beautiful, if you're rich, if you're liked.
Right.
It's a performance that never ends. And eventually, the pressure makes you break. That's what happened to all of them. They reached the top of that ladder
Yeah.
and discovered it was leaning against the wrong wall. The top was empty. But the answer they found in faith is radically different. It's not conditional. It's a declaration. You are enough because you were created with purpose. You are loved, not for what you do, but for who you are. You don't have to perform. You are already His.
That is the message of grace that is saving lives, from Hollywood to your hometown. And the most beautiful part is, you don't have to be famous to experience it. You don't have to have it all to realize it's not enough.
You just have to be willing to turn around. They didn't find religion. They found a relationship.
Exactly.
They found